There is a truth that many people struggle to accept when they first hear it. Not because it is unfair, but because it forces a person to look honestly at the patterns in their own life. Often, people treat us according to the limits we allow. This does not mean that every situation of disrespect is our fault. Some people behave badly regardless of how kind or patient someone is. But in many relationships, behavior slowly adjusts based on what is tolerated. When someone repeatedly crosses a boundary and nothing happens, they begin assuming that boundary does not truly exist. When someone speaks carelessly and their words are never challenged, they may begin believing those words are acceptable. When someone constantly receives understanding without giving respect in return, they may begin expecting that imbalance. This pattern does not always come from cruelty. Many times it simply comes from human nature. People learn through experience. They observe how far they can go, how much they can take, and how much behavior will be accepted without resistance. If a woman consistently ignores behavior that hurts her, people around her slowly begin adjusting their expectations. They may begin assuming she will always tolerate it. They may expect endless patience. They may stop considering how their actions affect her feelings. And the painful part is that the woman herself may begin believing this is normal. She may start thinking that asking for better treatment will make her seem demanding. She may fear that protecting her boundaries will push people away. So she stays silent. But silence often teaches the wrong lesson. It quietly communicates that everything is acceptable. Islam never encouraged believers to abandon their dignity. The Prophet, peace be upon him, showed gentleness in his character, but he also demonstrated clarity and self-respect. A believer is humble, but humility does not mean allowing others to constantly diminish your value. When a woman begins protecting her dignity, something subtle begins changing in her relationships. Her words become clearer. Her expectations become healthier. She becomes more comfortable expressing when something feels wrong. Not with anger, not with hostility, but with calm honesty. And people begin noticing the difference. Because when someone truly values themselves, it becomes visible in their behavior. They carry themselves differently. They speak differently. They allow different treatment in their lives. And very often, the moment a woman begins respecting herself more deeply, the people around her begin adjusting their behavior as well. Because respect often begins with the way a person honors their own worth. The awakening, when a woman finally remembers her worth. There comes a moment in the life of many women that feels like waking up after a long sleep. It may come after disappointment, after emotional exhaustion, after realizing that years of giving everything did not create the appreciation she hoped for. At first, this realization can feel painful, but within that pain there is also clarity. She begins seeing patterns she once ignored. She begins recognizing situations that drained her energy. She begins understanding that many of the things she tolerated were never necessary. And slowly, something powerful begins returning. Her awareness, her confidence, her self-respect. She no longer feels the same urgency to prove her value to others. She no longer feels the same fear of disappointing people.